We ready.
Okay, man.
We're gonna talk about your fallen friends, right?
My what?
You're gonna tell us about all the players that passed.
Pass.
Yeah, like passed on, passed away.
You cut the mic on.
No, I just wanted to talk to him before we start.
Okay.
He said that we're gonna talk about all the players that passed, like the
Right.
fallen friends. Okay.
We can.
Can you hear me? Okay. So why did you tell me? What about your friends that you lost along this journey? Can you still remember their names and things of that nature?
I'm sorry, I had to talk up a little bit.
I said, what about like the Trojans? Y'all been friends 65 years.
Yes.
What about the fallen Trojans that passed away? Is there a lot of...
Yeah, there's a number of guys who passed away, and as a team, as a league of friends, I can truthfully say we kept in contact, and most of all the guys that have played, former players that have passed on, we've stepped up as a team, and we've attended that funeral. We've recognized them at that funeral. I've spoken at most of the funerals, and we're in that family. We're still in touch with that family. A number of guys that's played. We're still in touch with our wives. We still invite their wives to different functions. But yeah, we've got some good players. And again, the guys, we bonded. We were so close together. We all felt like we were brothers.
Right.
Yeah, all the guys that have passed away, we recognize them as as guys who was part of a great team.
Right. So you telling me that it was racial when y'all came up? Like it was a lot. It was segregated. Inside of that, you say you never played when you beat nothing but white team. You said in the league that y'all was in.
You said
Y'all beat only white team.
oh yeah, when we were able to play them. See, for a while, Park and Recreation in Atlanta for years was segregated, and they just started letting us play the white teams until 1964. We had already won a championship as well. But then too, the big controversy really came in when they didn't allow to recognize our team as part of the group that was playing to play in the League World Series. So you had to qualify by region. Well, our name was never in it as a team who qualified because we were black. And then they tried to say that we had a player on our team, which Roland, he was big, but he was too old. But see, that was a tale, and just kind of like, they just pushed it on the table. We never heard anymore.
Right.
And the only thing we could do, you say that we were champs, and I've got the ball that we won World War Championship, and but it was just a thing. This is how they just treated blacks during that time.
Right. So let's ask you a question. If you could ask your 15-year-old self a question right now, what would it be?
If I was 15,
If you could ask yourself, like you can go back and talk to yourself as a 15-year-old as you are now, what would you say to me?
when I go back, I was like so. 15 years old, man, that's kind of young,
Yeah,
man.
it's really young.
And most of these kids now, man, they're not mature enough to even think about trying to coach somebody else or trying to teach somebody else. And, I guess the main reason why I decided to do it was my father. My father was my mentor. I was the only boy. I was like a deacon when I was only 8, 9 years old.
Right.
My father was a deacon in the church. I was everywhere he went, I went.
Right.
And then, you learn from your father. My dad was a great teacher. And again, my dad became when I decided to be decided to form this team, he was right there. He stood by me. He said, okay, we can do it. And he watched us. He just, I don't know, sometimes children are born, sometimes they say leaders are born, I don't know. I just think about it sometimes myself, what caused me to want to do it? I know it was my dad, nobody pushed me.
Right.
It's just that I wanted to do it. I kind of, it's like, it's kind of like looking at a young preacher. You wonder why this guy 12 years old preaching and singing like you do, and man, you can't come over and answer, man.
That's his calling.
It's his blood, it's God's will. And I could say that it was something that was that I think about now and how true it was. I could truly say that somebody was behind me or wanted me to do well.
Right.
I've never been in trouble in my life. I've always wanted to do well. I've always wanted to see everybody else to do well. But 15 years old, you look back, that's a lot to think about being a winner. I mean, we were kicking, I was being old men, and they got, where did this guy come from, 15 years old, got a team to play like this? But then too, like everything else that my guys played, I didn't have problems. I didn't have a lot of problems. Other coaches had kids, they didn't talk back to me. Nobody argued with umpire but me. And I told them, hey, that's it. That was it. They understood. When winning take care of a lot of things.
Yeah.
When you're winning, man, sometimes kids they can't question some of the things you ask them to do. It's kind of like they just responded, man. But they responded because they won. And they were dressed nice. People told them how good they looked. But then on top of that, they were also players. And that was the biggest thing. And I got them to understand that that's what comes with winning. People recognize you, but you got to carry yourself in a certain way. And that's what I taught them to do. First of all, be respectful and carry yourself in a respectable manner.
All right, so we're gonna chop this up so we can move to the next person to talk to us.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
All right, man.
All right.